Hey guys, what's going on today? I got a video for you here. I got the Darkmatterx DM-1 Ultimate Shift Kit installed here on the 2023 VBWRX with the STI transmission swap, and also installed the Tomioka Racing R180 rear diff cover. Pretty fun job. The last couple days been working on it. This time consuming more than anything. Having to remove pretty much the whole mid pipe of the exhaust, take the drive shaft out, also drain the transmission oil out, put a Fresh Motul Gear 300 in, as well as in the rear diff. So I'll go over here with you. When I originally did the STI swap on this, I installed the Cartboy short shifter here, and then got the Billet Works reverse lockout on there. And the real nice thing I like about the Darkmatterx shifter is that all it has is the one main shift arm, which I'll show you inside the car when I get in there. It just has a main shift arm basically coming off from here, right here, and then connects directly into the transmission shaft. No reverse lockout cable, no extra arm. Nothing like that. It's a real nice direct feel, mechanical feel with the shifter. I haven't drove the car yet. I'm just finishing up getting the inside back together. I'm gonna wash the car here in a bit and then go for a drive later, see how it is. I will tell you that in order to install the Darkmatterx on the inside, you do have to remove this metal bracket, which this would go over the top of this rubber here, and then this bolts down to the chassis in the car, and then this foam piece would go over the top of this, and then with these two holes on it, it would secure with these plastic pieces here on top. So no more with this. I'm not sure if that's going to let a lot more heat up into the car. As far as NVH goes, I don't care about that because I really like the NVH on this car with the whine in first and second gear with the STI transmission. When I installed the IAG transmission mount the other week with the stiffer bushings, it really made the gear whine noise even louder. And then since I did the Varus Engineering motor mounts with the 90A durometers, that also helps increase the NVH, which I really like. I also have a Varus Engineering pitch stop coming. I have a parent on there right now, but I want to do the Varus just so I can put stiffer durometers on that, stiffen that up even for more NVH. And the nice thing about the Darkmatter shifter, like I said, you don't need all this extra stuff. This is the main bracket here. There's 3 holes, and then this bracket bolts into the front of the transmission as like an extra support. And then this piece here, or this part of the shifter, sorry, it's kind of hard, right here would go into that bracket. So this has all the upgraded Cartboy shifters, and then the solid mount here for it too. And then this is the original piece here that went onto the shaft of the shifter, and then the roll pin went through here. And then basically that connected to the shifter here. So eliminates a lot of that extra stuff, and I'm going to get under the car here and show you everything. Might be a little bit harder to see it now since I have everything back together underneath, but give me just a second so I can get underneath the car. All right, yeah, so here's the IAG trans mount. This is a competition series with the red bushings. Like I did that a couple weeks ago. And tried to get up underneath the transmission here and show you everything, which might be a little bit more difficult now, which I think it is. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Alright, you can kind of see up in there where those 2 stainless hose clamps are. That's the main shift arm that comes through and then connects right up there where the roll pin goes through into the shift shaft up there. And you just have the single arm that goes here, and then there's like a box that mounts underneath. But like I said, it's hard to see all this now since everything is put back together under here. Eric from Darkmatterx has a really excellent installation video on this on YouTube as well, so check that out. I'll link it in the description if you want to see how to install this. The biggest thing I think installing this was getting that roll pin out. But once I had all this stuff, I had the drive shaft off, the whole mid pipe, all that stuff. It made installation a lot easier, a lot more room to work with up in there. But like I said, everything is back together, and it's really hard to see up in there with anything now. Also fresh Motul Gear 300 75 weight 90 in the transmission. I think I only had about 1,500 miles on this since I did the swap, and I also just wanted to see what the oil looked like on the magnetic drain plug to see if there was any abnormal like metal pieces or anything like that. There wasn't, just normal dirt and stuff like that, so that was good to see. And then topped it off with about four quarts. Here's the fill plug right on the side of the transmission, which I have a fluid pump that I just use and then pump it into the side. And then as soon as it starts trickling out of the side of that hole, then put the drain plug back in and you're good to go. Yeah, so it's really hard to, like I said, see anything else under here since it's all back together. I will show you the Tomioka Racing rear diff cover. Alright, here's the rear diff cover. This thing is really nice quality. Holds about an extra, I'd say maybe half quart of oil. And basically the purpose of that is to help keep it cooler, especially here in Arizona where it's 110, 115 in the summer. Running extra half quart of oil in here supposedly help keep things cooler. Keep the fluid temps down. This wasn't too bad to install. Basically got to take the two nuts off up there. Take the two nuts off under here. Take these bolts out. And then basically I put a jack underneath the rear diff. Push the studs out through the subframe and then just slowly lowered it down on the jack from underneath, and then this used the impact and popped all the I think there's 8 bolts that hold the cover on, and put the new one on. They did send the wrong studs though that screw into the rear cover that come through that subframe. Here's the studs they sent me, which these are way too short. So I just basically took the studs out of the OEM cover and then put them onto this one, no problem. But I originally already had these studs installed on this cover with Loctite, so it was kind of a pain to have to take these studs out again and then swap the other ones over, which took more time to get that. But fresh fluid in this as well, Gear 300 75 weight 90, about 1.5 quarts. I think it takes now with the extra capacity. Normally it's about 0.9, I think, or maybe it's about 1.4 with that. I'm not really sure, but a little extra fluid in there. Again, real nice quality. They sent brand new OEM gasket, brand new OEM bolts for all around. And then both the fill and drain plugs on these are magnetic as well. And then just enough clearance here on the exhaust right through here. And everything fit perfect on that. So now I will go back up to the top of the car and then show you the shifter on the inside. Give me a second here to get out. Oh, and I also did a oil change on the car. This time I ended up went with Motul, the 8100 Power 5W40. So I originally was running AMSOIL in here, the Signature Series 5W30. But with that war going on in Iraq, AMSOIL really raised their prices up a lot. And the I think the 8100 power is even better than the AMSOIL. And it's also more compatible running ethanol or E85 in the car. And then I also wanted to go from 530 to 540, also to help out here, just because being tuned at 440 wheel horsepower on E85, and also just with the heat and everything out here, that the 540 should be a little bit better, I think, for this car. Lower the car down now and show you the inside. And these, I'm so glad I got these quick jacks. They're such a lifesaver. Needing to work on the car with how much I've used them on this, and also my new daily, the Acura over there. But let me get the inside of the car and I'll show you the shifter. Alright guys, so like I said, with that metal bracket being eliminated, the bracket, you know, will go with the 4 bolts, and then the top part, there'd be 2 screws here and here that would go into the top of that bracket, which now I don't have that, so there's not as much support, I guess, on this, which isn't a huge deal. And then also with that NVH, that rubber boot and the padding being gone too, opens that up a bit more down in there, which I'll just have to see how bad the NVH is and if more heat gets up in the car. So I have the Billet Works weighted shift knob here installed, and I also have it's hard to see, but it's over there, about a 1/2 inch extension for the shifter. But the nice thing about this Dark Matter is the height is adjustable. Basically, there's this little ring right here. You can hit that, see it pops out right there, and then all you do is turn the bottom of this. I have it maxed out for height all the way up. I'm not sure how much lower it goes, but this is all the way up in height. I think it's pretty good to where it's at. I'm not going to need that extension. It feels pretty good right there. Then all you do is just pop that back in. So real nice. You can adjust the height with this. And like I said, all you have here is the main shift arm that bolts right to the front. And then that shift arm goes, right down through there. And for some reason the light on this is not working. And this is a neutral right now, so I mean, real good. I'll put it in first gear here. And then also for the shift stop for first and second gear, you can kind of see, well, down here on the side, there's 2 Allen bolts you have to adjust for first and second gear. Fifth and second, there's no like shift stop to adjust on it. So basically in first gear right now, get just enough wiggle right there, first gear. And then second gear, just enough back and forth wiggle in it. And it's just so direct feeling. I mean, just so nice and notchy and mechanical. So third, there's fourth. And being that the reverse lockout cable is removed, this has its own safety feature built into it. It still has a reverse lockout. Somehow it's built into the whole shifter mechanism itself that you still have to use that to get into reverse. But yeah, this thing is just so notchy, I mean, into the gears. And I'm going to finish getting the inside of this all back together. Another thing, I have the whole iWire IDCCD. I've been having actually a bunch of issues with that. I do have it set up, but I've been going back and forth on a lot of emails with iWire because I've been having problems with the app, and they've been doing a lot of updates on the app because it hasn't been very stable for me trying to connect the Bluetooth to connect to the car. It takes forever to connect, and when it does, it doesn't want to work right, and it's hit and miss when I can actually get it to work right. But I was able to get into the settings, get everything configured for the car and get that set up. So basically now it's just monitoring stuff on it to see what the car is doing. They just did another update on it the other day, which I haven't checked yet to see how much different it is or what they did with it to try and connect to the car. So yeah, basically that's it. And if you guys have any questions on this, go ahead and let me know.